what's up, everybody? We're back with another edition of After Thanksgiving Buck Junkies. And we actually got to get in the woods this time, fellas.
That's right. After Thanksgiving and after the hunt.
We got a little sausage in the cooler, don't we, Mikey?
A little bit. Need a couple more though.
Just a couple more?
Yeah, we need a couple more to.
Do we got breakfast sausage in there? Or we got summer sausage.
I don't know yet. Probably breakfast sausage first. And then the next two go to summer sausage.
That's good. I can't wait.
I'm going to add to it today.
Well, so y'all was in the stand this morning. Y'all got to hear early. I had a little mishap at the house with my wife. She's got a little cast.
Word that now.
But yeah, she got a cast on her arm now. No, she tripped and fell. It wasn't my fault. I didn't push her or anything.
She's on a motorcycle. She wanted to sing more.
It's tough.
She was actually taking some stuff in for teacher appreciation. Come back to the car, and I was like, "What is wrong with you?" And she said, "You didn't see me fall." I was looking at my daggum phone, checking cameras. I said, "I didn't see nothing." Yeah, so I had to take her to the daggum. Was going to the emergency room. I figured that'd take all day. So we went to an orthopedic doctor and they cast it up for her. And so she's going to be out of commission for hunting season.
I told her she needs to put her little huggy on it where she got a permanent cup holder, be good to go. She can just hold on to it. Not even have to worry.
Not even have to worry. Yeah. So that kind of sucks for her.
Well, kind of slow, really.
But it's got me doing the dishwasher and the cooking. And man, I'm doing it all now at the house. So
crap, Malcolm be crabby for 6 weeks now.
I asked her what she gonna do if I go. I got to go to camp. I can't just be sitting at the house during deer season. So I don't know if it was on purpose to keep me at home or
you bring her down here when you.
That's what I told her.
You're feeding her and all that stuff. I'm videoing that.
I said I got
Brushing
you. You come down
hair.
here. You can watch all the shows you want to watch on TV. I'll cook all the food, and all you got to do is kick back and relax. It's gonna be easy.
See how long that lasts.
Yeah, see how long that lasts.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Take bets.
Burn the food a couple times. She'll figure out how to work without.
Oh, no, I can cook dinner now. That ain't no problem.
And you got to tote her backpack and everything like you back in high school.
Oh, that's it. I'm having to run all this stuff with the big Stanley mug out to the car and all that stuff. You make tic-tacs on
What
that.
broke is that big old Stanley mug. Big old cantankerous things.
No, but we had a dang good week. We saw a lot of deer. We got to report the big deer that we've been seeing a little. We ain't been seeing him much, but he got killed on the neighbor's property.
Yeah, that was. I guess they got him day before yesterday.
Did y'all see? We didn't ever see what he scored or anything, do we?
No. They've been kind of quiet on it, but
They want nobody to know.
Word I heard, it's going to be high 160s, if not 180.
He was a true 12.
Oh, I think he's going to break 180. I think.
I'd like to know how wide he is.
They told me.
Was he 17 inches wide?
I think it was 18 and a half, I think.
Wow.
For sure.
Yeah, his tines were
good.
tall.
I mean, that helps you judge him on the camera and stuff. You know,
He didn't look near about as big on camera as he did on that picture we seen.
Man.
To me, he didn't.
The only thing I was told is that the body weight didn't. If it would have been an island deer, it'd have been 250 pounds.
Yeah.
But the body weight didn't really match the mass of the horns, really.
We got a stud. What'd you call it, Mark?
It ain't a Boone and Crockett. It's a Betty Crockett.
We got a stud Betty Crockett over here now. I saw him. Well, it was one night that y'all had went home, and I'd come down here and hunted by myself, and I was trying to see that big buck, and this old joker come by. He was behind a doe. Doe was out there acting crazy. She come across the ditch and was running circles in the field, and there's some other does out there, and they didn't want nothing to do with her. She took off up a hill towards Mark Plot. And then it wasn't a minute later, I heard something busting through, and it was this big deer. But man, he didn't have but 3 points. And I bet he's over 180 pounds. I mean, for us, he's a
heel deer. He's a big body.
Yeah, he is
one of the biggest body deer we've had on camera.
And then we finally got it. I don't think we had him on camera before I saw him, but now he showed up barking a scrape. And he's got one little bitty old spur for a brow tine on one side. So I guess you call him a 4-point, but he's probably out a little bit, maybe 2 of his ears are right past his ears. So what's that put him 14, 15 inches wide?
Most.
And I bet that deer's 4 or 5 years old. I mean, I think he's gone down. And I think it might be, that big deer we had on camera last year looked like a cow.
I was fixing to say, didn't we have like a little 6 or something like that?
I think that's him gone down. I want to see his jawbone bad. So he's number one on the hit list for the Betty Crockett score.
I think he's definitely an older deer because you look at that one picture, his nose is so short. It's just fat. It looks like a bull.
Yeah, it does.
He's one of the biggest body deer I've ever seen.
I mean, Mikey was looking at his brisket. There ain't no defined brisket. It's just
it goes
full.
from the neck straight into legs. I mean,
there's
don't have no
Got cankles.
definition or anything. His belly's swagged out. I mean, he's just all shoulders and neck and hindquarters. And
Is he going to be Fat Albert or Sherman? Which one?
he could be Sherman, 3-point Sherman.
He's a good one though. I'd be excited to see somebody get him though.
But we finally did a little doe killing. Me and Mikey decided it was time, so we did it. We got a little. We recorded it. I don't know if we can share it.
We actually recorded a hunt.
We did
A successful hunt.
I don't know how good the footage is, but it was fun doing it.
Well, we kind of made our mind up. We was going to double down.
Well, Shell wanted to know why we ain't shot nothing yet. And here it is. We done hunted a week, and ain't nobody killed anything. That ain't true. You done killed a bobcat and a coyote, and then I got a bobcat that night. That's a good little story too. We'll tell that in a minute. But South Trump.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, we were down there. But so I shot this bobcat, and it was early. Whatever day I was out there, it's probably about 3:30. Y'all were hunting that day.
That's the day I seen the
I forgot my phone, so I couldn't text nobody. And it probably sounded like a war zone over there where I was, because there's all kinds of shooting around me. I mean, we've been more shooting this year than I've heard any year we've been down here. But I caught a bobcat slipping through the edge of that grow in the wall right by the stand. I mean, when I got the rangefinder out after I'd done shot at him, it was only like 39 yards, 40 yards tops. But I had my 350 Legend with me, and I knew that 3-point had done come out about 170 yards down, so I ranged it up to 150 because I figured it'd be right before dark. And I said, well, I can go back to zero quicker, and I can dial it up in low light, seeing it at 1.5. So I just had it sitting there, and I told myself when I did it that I know if anything's in close, I got to dial it down. Well, I saw that bobcat, I forgot. I didn't dial it down. So I know I probably shot over him, I would imagine. And he was right there to stand. Well, I was like, I don't know how I missed him. And I thought that, and I was like, dadgummit, I done missed that joker, turkey killer. And then I caught a glimpse of him going back in the corner of that girl on the wall. And I said, well, he ain't hit, because he was moving through there. And then it wasn't 10 minutes. There's a little gap down there, right where that 3-point had come out the day before in a bunch of doe, where the grow in the wall kind of stops. And that bobcat just come out there. And I said, oh, I got him now. I'd had it dial back up to 1.5. And I shot that joker, and down he went. I mean, he was deader than right. So I got my binoculars out, was trying to see him. I said, dang, I can't see him laying there. And then I looked back at my scope, and I could tell there's a shape there. Well, 30, 40 minutes went by, and here come a doe out there, and I saw that joker scamper off. And I was like, man, he went over in the ditch right where the doe went, and the does come out and fed that night, and I didn't shoot ones. I didn't know that buck was coming. It got too dark. Well, me and Mikey went back over there the next day because I wanted to put a camera over there where they're crossing that ditch. And there was a blood spot. I don't know, it's probably 2-foot diameter, wasn't it? Where that joker had laid there and bled. And it had to have been hit high back or something where it caught him, and I'm sure he's dead losing that much blood.
Yeah, he didn't make it far.
But we didn't go down in the ditch and look for him. Was y'all seeing buzzards over there this morning circling anywhere?
I haven't seen any.
I imagine
Had crows and blue jays on me all morning. Bunch of crows.
Man, everybody's been saying it's been crows. The duck hunters have been complaining about crows.
There's plenty.
All the ones I've seen.
No, I probably I had a good hunt that afternoon. I had a couple does, had a little 6-point, and we got to grow on the wall around that pond stand, so I rode the old e-bike right up to it, and it wasn't as soon as I got in the stand, does were out there feeding. I was like, well, it's a little early. I ain't gonna shoot a doe just yet. And that 6-point come out, and he was looking dead at me, but he wouldn't, like he was looking through me, like behind me. And I was like, what the heck's he looking at? Well, sure enough, here comes that 8-point, and I'd say he's probably 17-ish wide. He's tall, but he ain't real tall, Watched him, and of course he chased the doe, pushed the doe around for a little bit, and took a few pictures of him, but I'm probably going to regret that because it's probably going to go across the property line and somebody else is going to get him. But
I could believe you didn't shoot that deer. It was a good one.
It was a fat deer too.
He's a good body.
Yeah, he's going to push on up there too.
But I done what I said is I second guess myself. And when I done that, I just set the gun down, put it against us. I'm not, because I didn't want to pull the trigger and be one like, crap, I shouldn't have shot that one. And we shouldn't be that way. But I was trying to be Mr. management deer over here and let them be, but I'm sure Jamie or Waylon want to smoke him here in a couple days.
It's gonna get managed.
Did you saw the picture of him? Was you hunting that night?
No.
I don't think you were here that evening, were you? You done went back, I think, but that was a good buck.
Yeah, he was.
And
that'd be tickled to death Will or Michael or one of them. Like, that'd be a great deer for a kid, and he would have been probably one of my biggest deer that I've shot.
He
He'd be right
might
there with it.
He might be the biggest one that we've seen 8-point on this property. If he's still, I mean, I'm sure he's still out there. We ain't heard he's got shot. I don't think we got a picture of him. That's the thing, man. How is it that? Well, I know when the rut starts, and we're started here, that you're going to see deer that you ain't had on camera all summer and fall long. Because I mean, we're seeing it now. We know there's 2 or 3 around here that we'd never seen before, like that 3-point.
Yeah, I mean now you started to say something about the cameras, but like we said, we move our cameras around, hitting certain things, but once we get into deer season, we kind of put them out on the feed plots, or somewhere we know they're feeding at, food plots mainly, and leave them there because we're not trying to disturb the woods and put them on trails and stuff like that. So we don't catch as many deer unless they come by that camera in the food plot, and a lot of those bucks are just kind of tipping around the edge of the woods. They're still on acorns and stuff too now. So it don't surprise me that we hadn't seen that deer. And there's probably a few more that we ain't laid eyes on yet.
What we did realize is, I guess you were hunting that ladder stand back on that north side, and you noticed that there's some deer moving through there. And so we just went and started looking for scrapes, and you'd found a little, I call it a battleground. It's right there behind that pond where there's always, there's several scrapes and rubs all over the place. Well, Mikey went down in there, and there was just sign everywhere.
Yeah. They had tore up every little old shrub tree or little cedar or anything like that down in there. And there were several scrapes down there that were 2 to 3 foot in diameter, big ones. And then there were some small ones in there too, but it was full of buck sign down in there, and it all appeared just in a matter of days.
And that's when we decided we need to get some cameras on the scrapes now. And soon as, like, our cameras, I wouldn't say dried up. We were still getting pictures of does feeding. But once we moved to those scrapes, y'all have seen the cameras. They have popped every single one. Now, mainly, it's night. That's what they do this time of year. There's everybody out. They're shooting at them around here, and there's more people out in the woods now. So them deer start doing go nocturnal on you. So we're seeing the scrape action at night. Now we're just hoping to catch them moving back to bed, and they're coming out to feed in the afternoon, or even them old ones that like to wait and move midday. But we're almost to that point where you better be in the stand and be ready to sit.
Yeah, we're right there.
Just a little bit.
Are you going right back, going early
I'm
afternoon?
gonna take my laptop with me, and I'm going.
That's the one thing we haven't done yet is hunted midday.
Yeah.
We've been getting down about 11 o'clock, and y'all got out a little early today to do this podcast. So it was about 10 o'clock right at.
I'm a spike and fawn magnet, dude.
Have you been saying, is that what you've been saying?
I've seen a lot of spikes.
Well, you hunted on the other side, on the other property, and saw a pretty good bit of deer over there when they were young, right?
Smaller 6-point, and I think the other one was a 4-point. And I hadn't seen a bunch of those.
Knock on wood, I don't think any of us have been skunked yet.
No.
We've always seen deer.
I've been skunked twice this year.
Have you already?
Already, yeah.
There hadn't been a day where I hadn't seen at least a deer out of a stand. So
I ended up seeing 7 or 8 this morning. I mean, it was
this
all
morning
those.
started slow. I didn't see. I seen that one 30-pound yearling, and then it was right before we got down. I think it was 5 does and a spike come out.
So same thing this morning. As soon as I got in the stand, I don't know where that doe come from. I think she was bedded down on the hillside right there in front of the stand. As soon as I got in the stand, it ain't even daylight. Moonlight's what we had. She was out there feeding that plot. Never spooked, never nothing. And that's twice that's happened to me this year. And I was kind of rolling off into this because Mikey took a e-bike out this morning. But
how'd that go, Mikey?
Well, it went fine, but I'm not experienced on that thing. So when we left the shop, Mark kind of took off. He got out in front of me a little bit, and of course the light's on the handlebars, right? Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Because I'll get to that. But anyway, so I'm getting used to standing on the bike and stuff like that, and what Mark's got it set on. And anyways, we bail off the biggest hill we got on the property. Well, I was pedaling and had it gap wide open when I went off the hill. So
You wouldn't coast.
No, I wasn't coasting.
I knew he was a good ways behind me, and then I seen the headlight just, you know how like a flashlight be shaking? That's what I seen in front of me, and I just had to look over my shoulder. That gum, he's rolling.
So I got my gun, I got my binoculars on me, and I got all this stuff on me, man. And this thing gets away from me, so I pull the brake. Well, it hits that loose gravel, and the back end starts to pass me as I'm coming down the hill.
Oh, man, you drifting on the e-bike.
Yeah, I'm drifting down this hill. So I went out in the ditch just a little bit and kept control of it and come back up out of it. When I come out, it scotched back around the other way. Man, I'm talking about, I was a nervous wreck. I said, I'm finna knock the rifle off. I'm finna be broke.
Mess your drawers up for you.
No, it's cool riding the thing. It was all right, but yeah, you got to be careful when you get on some loose rocks and stuff like that, or you're not used to going off that fast. I mean, I just went off the hill too fast, and I didn't realize it. And I was like, whoop, I need to get some brakes here. And when I started grabbing them brakes, it was over with.
And that's something that's I've noticed is going in the morning and dark or coming out at night, you can't see, like with that little headlight, like it's a bright little headlight, but you can't see like holes or like dips in the, like, so you'll hit one of them in a heartbeat before you realize it, you know? So, and that, I need to bring my grader down here and grade that hill or something. Cause that coming back this way,
It's choppy.
it's pretty choppy and it's pretty aggressive on a bike. But other than that, what was your thoughts riding to the stand? And
Oh, I mean, it was fine. I mean, it was quiet. I mean, you're not really exerting yourself that much. You know, you pedal a little bit up I did up a couple of hills, but you know, that was about it. It was,
You ain't putting out.
no,
oh, you're not standing up.
It ain't like riding a Huffy.
Yeah.
no, that's the only downfall to it is just that right there. You know, if you on unfamiliar terrain or can't see something, and especially in the dark.
Well, if you just ease along, it's not too bad.
If I'd have been easy along, I'd have been fine. But like I said,
I was easing. I got to the hill and I eased down the hill, and Mikey come up like freaking.
I come off the hill like I was in the X Games on the BMX bike. Front wheel come off the ground when I crested over the hill.
I mean, y'all got gone this morning. I backed Can-Am out, and I was like, dang, the tire's flat on it. And I turned around and asked Mark, did he have a little compressor? And all I seen was brake lights going off down the, they were gone.
It should have been sitting in the garage on shelves. You find
my
it?
tank in the truck.
We need to slime that one. We slimed the other one. We need to slime that one. But that's twice, though, that I've rode that bike to the stand and knowing that deer was within 30 yards of me when I got in the stand, like instantly. And the deer's out there feeding.
Where did you park?
At the bottom of the steps.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Mikey parked on the road. He didn't e-bike it all the way to. He stopped a little ways, but
I cut my light off.
No, 'cause
I seen where you had it parked in the grass over before you got to the stand.
Yeah. I didn't go all the way to the stand. Well, that was the only place I had like tall grass to put it in. I just kind of eased it up in the grass and.
Yeah, 'cause I seen when I rode in, I could see your brake light on up there.
Yeah, I cut. Oh, I thought you meant because I cut the light off and let you go on.
That might have been him laying in the ditch. What you see?
Did you see anything in that mud hole?
Yeah, I was in Hilltop. Yeah, I seen an 8-point and 3 does.
Was it that 8? I've seen that 8-point.
It was a small.
He's been on camera. He's been on that scrape over there.
Yeah, he come out and was feeding on red oaks over to my right. And anyway, I seen him over there kind of feeding around. He cut the grass field in half, went all the way down to the bottom down there and started feeding on the clover down in the bottom of the hill. Well, he kept looking up the hill, I don't know, kind of back up towards the south trump stand. And I knew there was a deer or something over a coyote or something because he was locked on it. And his ears are straight out and he was staring out up in there. And anyways, it didn't take just a minute. I seen a great big doe step out. And as soon as she stepped out, boy, he took off after her like quick.
Yeah.
And then 2 more shot out behind him. He run around on the hill for a minute and shot in the woods with them. So
he was chasing them?
He was chasing them, but I mean, like he wasn't really looking for them. You know what I mean? You know how bucks, when they ain't got a doe with them, they kind of come through just like a bird dog or something, like hunting for a quail. They're just like looking around for stuff, you know, trying to catch one. He was just meandering around out there, and when he seen the doe, boy, it was on. He took off. So they're getting there.
Yeah, they started. I hunted with Dad at the house last week when or I guess Friday. Yeah, Friday last week, Friday and Saturday both, and they're already chasing at the house pretty hot and heavy.
Everywhere else we've heard that. I mean, I've seen a lot of deers on that Tate County whitetails page where people are killing them chasing does. So it's busted open here. Full moon kind of hurt us these few days. Man,
It was bright this morning.
Man, it's super bright.
I took a couple pictures when I got in the stand because as soon as I got up in the stand this morning, it frosted hard. And well, that moon was reflecting off all the frost across that bottom. I mean, you could see.
You could
see for 100 yards in the dark.
Yeah.
Now, you probably couldn't make out a deer or nothing like that, but I could see 100, 150 yards through the dark, just from the light reflecting off all the frost on the ground.
Y'all didn't see old Ricky anywhere?
No.
He's been showing up on scrapes.
We talked about that. How in the world does a 3-legged deer make a scrape?
I don't know how he does it, but he does.
Paul's fast.
He has to, doesn't he?
He might be doing it with his back legs.
He might.
He backs up.
He definitely backed up in it and relieved himself. You can see it on camera. So on those cameras, I switched them all to video.
Oh, did
so,
you?
well, I don't know about those new ones we moved around, but we should have some pretty good video footage on game cams of some of these. I mean, I've noticed on the pics, it'll show you that it took a video, but you get the little preview clip. They don't actually show you what the video was, but it's going to be interesting to get some footage of them actually working and scrape and see how that deer acts.
Yeah.
Instead of just a still pic.
So growing up on a scrape, you always thought nothing but a buck and a doe. Man, we running cameras. You see coons, you see coyotes, you see, any critter that come through the woods going to go
check it out.
That scraping. I mean, I don't know if they're using it, if they're using it just to see what else is in the area, but yeah, I never realized that so much it's not just deer that's using that scrape.
I think it becomes the old public toilet where unisex.
Porta John.
Yeah, unisex. Doesn't matter what kind of critter it is. They're going to go to it.
So I don't know if our scrape video is released yet, but what won, the Golden Estrus or the Tank 69?
The Tanks.
They seem to like that Tanks better, didn't they?
Yeah, the Tanks won. And I don't know, we didn't utilize the Golden Estrus properly. It's a scent and we put it in that dripper, but I don't know if that was it was the estrus, but I don't know if that's what was really supposed to be in that dripper. Yeah. But we put it in there anyways. They did mess with it. They messed with both of them.
They messed with both of them.
But,
smell the dripper.
Yeah, they stayed on that Tank 69 one. That it was its own dripper too.
Yeah, it was. But both of them were drippers. But it seemed like they liked the one on the left, which was the 69, better. But there was as many does that messed with it as there was young bucks. Now we never had a single mature buck mess with it.
No, we didn't.
But that's in a spot to where it's going to be tough to catch one messing with it anyway. We wanted to put that just in an obvious place. We knew there were deer, and it's right on the trail going to the big food plot there.
So after doing, they do use it, but I was thinking about this today. As many scrapes as we've seen and stuff like that. Hunting over scrapes, unless they're right there around a food plot or something like that you've seen deer in during the daytime. A lot of that crap they're doing at night anyway.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even. You can sit over that thing all day long and never see a deer.
Mature buck gonna wind it more than they're gonna come up there.
That's right.
Check it out. They're not gonna.
They're doing that with their food plots too, because they're just come up and you'll see them on the edge, poke their head out, check the wind, and see if they can pick up anything, and they'll move on.
Yep.
They're not even. I've had a few of them cross food plots, but I hadn't had any that's out there actively eating.
It was a video or podcast I was listening to, and guy was I don't remember if Mississippi State or not. Anyway, it was a research deal they were doing that. Like, same thing, like you might be interested in a blonde head and Mark might be interested, you know what I'm saying? And they say bucks are the same way. Just because the doe's in heat don't mean that buck's going to necessarily go to that doe. Because he might travel further to another doe that he's bred previously in the past or whatever. And he don't, he passes that up.
He's looking for that one he knows. We saw a difference in the two does we killed. The one Mikey killed was dark as she could be, had a bunch of black hair on her. And they were pretty close in the same age. I think mine was a little bit bigger on scale.
Yeah, yours was a little heavier.
But yours was, to be the smaller doe, was full of milk. And she didn't have that we saw any youngins with her. Both of these were solo does that we killed. And when I shot mine, I was like, Mikey, I might have buttons. I don't know. Because I knew it was a big deer, and buttons can be a little bigger, but she weighed like right at a little over 120.
Yeah.
Well, I know the camera angle y'all used when y'all took that picture and sent it to us. They looked teeny tiny in the back of that camera.
That one was
angled. I was like,
the one I shot was a good ways away. I mean, she was.
Yeah, she was out there 150.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
That's why I was calling y'all. Don't shot them young and tender.
Oh.
They look like some
No.
y'all had off in there.
Yeah,
It
no,
took
she
both of
was-
us to pick them up,
It
put them
took,
in the
yeah,
back of the
both of
Can-Am.
them. Yeah, they weren't little does,
You know, all them does this morning were all solo does I saw.
which is odd. So I wonder if they got the bucks got the others
Busted
locked
them up.
down, or they busted up because I've seen that before. When the buck gets on the doe and she's got little ones, she'll leave them. I mean, he runs them off of her, and that's when you'll catch them little ones out there. And you catch two little ones out there together, you don't know what size they are. They all, I mean, they look the same size. It's not till a bigger one comes out that I can tell.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody has. If you deer hunted long enough, you made that
you
mistake.
don't
You,
make
know,
a
a
mistake,
single
no.
deer come
Yeah.
out in the field, and especially if it's on down the field a little bit, and you smoke it, and you get down there, you're like, daggone.
Boy,
You know, this
squirrel.
thing is, you know, it's little, got buttons on it or something like that. You make those mistakes, you know, silhouetting a doe or a small deer out there by
See,
itself.
I done the opposite on that doe this morning. She come out. It was the second one to come out. She come out on the plot on top of the hill beside the stand, and I looked at. I was like, "Oh, that's a little bitty. That's a yearling. Like her mama's got to be somewhere close." And I got to looking at her, and finally she raised her head up. Man, she had a great big old long nose, and it looked like a little deer by herself, but you could tell she was an older doe. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to judge them for sure.
Did you see those 3 does in the pack that came through by me? Because they came from your direction.
They had to cross.
They
See,
must have went behind the pond around
All
the back
the-
of you.
all the does that were out in front of me, they were crossing over there where that little forge is, where the road crosses the big ditch. They were once they got down there, you couldn't see them at all. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they were coming up the hill right there, but every one of them went over that direction.
But, you know, I'm going to talk about our doe hunt a little bit. It's kind of take me in a question I was going to ask
Yeah.
y'all. So, me and Malcolm decided we're going to go shoot these does that evening. We was head set that we're putting some meat on the ground. But anyway, so the first doe comes out. It's on my right-hand side, and it's the big doe Malcolm killed. Well, I couldn't shoot out the window, and we're trying to film too, so there was no way for me to cock and shoot out the window. So I told Malcolm to get his gun, and I filmed him doing it. So the deer walks across the field out there. Well, Malcolm shoots. You tell the deer's hit. it
Bucks
tears-
and everything.
Yeah, and I mean, you could tell she's hit. Well, she runs over and she stops. And I was like, well, she's going to go down. Well, she didn't go down. She stood there, and then I was like, well, doggone, maybe he didn't hit her because it looked like she went back to eating.
And by that time,
Yeah.
I didn't. I stayed on her.
And Malcolm got another one off and, you know, knocked her down or whatever. But anyways, so Malcolm killed that one. And then while we're sitting there, I don't know what, 30 minutes, 45 minutes went by. Not even that long, really.
It wasn't that long. Yeah, maybe 30. Because I was telling you, it was like 4:45. We're fitting to see a deer, and I shot mine at like 4:44, and then it was 5:05 when you
Yeah.
saw that one.
And then I just happened to turn around and look behind me up the trail in the grass field behind me where the Can-Am's parked.
I'm talking about we were parked 50 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50 yards from the stand in that tall grass. And I turn around and look, and this doe is standing at 25 yards right behind the freaking stand, between the stand and the Can-Am.
We hadn't even been
Feeding.
watching behind us, really. I mean, because
No.
we both were facing the other way.
But she's feeding right there by the Can-Am. Like it's right there. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know that she had seen it yet, but because she was kind of looking at the stand and then she would feed and then she would look at the stand and then feed. So I think her attention was away from it. But anyways, so I got the gun out the window and I had to let her clear the Can-Am so I didn't hit it.
I wish I could have filmed that because Mikey was telling me, don't move. She is right out the window right here. And I'm like trying to look over my shoulder. I said, I see her. And she was looking up. So I just froze. And when you spun around, I mean, like creeped around. Luckily, we had a swivel chair. If you'd had to turn around, it probably never would have happened. But you swiveled around, stuck that 0350 out. You had the Bear Creek one.
Yeah, that newest one.
Yeah. And then he was like, pow. And man, I told my ears at that point 'cause I knew it was going to blow me out. And that deer ran to 10 feet of the bottom step and fell dead. Like, I mean, she was right there.
Make it easy load up.
Oh, it was.
it
Dude,
is.
this was the easiest 2 load ups ever because mine dropped in the trail.
His
Like,
fell
she
in the
ran
trail
20
right
yards
on
of the
the edge
trail.
of the daggum food
We
plot.
could see both of them. I mean, they were there. I mean, it was like, man, that's how you do it there. We about had them drive the Can-Am one, and then they about loaded themselves. It was so easy to get.
So, anyways, I was going to ask y'all a question about this, but so when you shoot a deer on a field, like kind of the scenario that Malcolm had there, so you shoot the deer, and you think you hit it, but you're unsure. Do you do a repeat shot before it leaves the
If
field?
I can still get on a deer, I'm shooting again.
Till it's on the ground.
Yeah, because I mean, it's one of them things. It's been too many times like that. You made a good shot on deer, but it gets out of the field,
Right.
and now you're out of sight. You're tracking. It's getting dark, especially in the evening time. I cannot stand not to see one dropping its tracks in the evening because it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
I'd a whole lot rather mess up a little bit of meat than lose all the meat. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It just ain't worth it.
Well, come to find out on that first shot that I did, it just blowed through the front leg, like in and
Hit it
out.
right above the knee.
I mean, she was about to lick it when I shot her that neck. I don't know if she was going back to eating or going back to licking. But
I don't know. I mean, she was putting her head down like it looked like she'd fix to go to feed.
yeah, but that second shot went right behind her shoulder and she didn't make it 20 yards. She didn't tote that one.
No. So that was something I was just curious about, is how many people, fire a shot, I got it.
Yeah,
And set
not
the
take
gun
another
down
one.
and the deer runs plumb off the field, and then they start thinking like, oh
You
crap.
remember that one daddy shot at camp with the muzzleloader, a 50 caliber muzzleloader. He shot it, dropped in its tracks underneath his stand within 20 yards of his stand. Like boom, dropped it. Went to go get down, get over there, look, deer's gone. It ain't a speck of blood. It ain't nothing, no blood. It ain't nothing left.
But he saw it fall.
He saw it
Yeah, he
fall.
saw it fall, and the deer was kind of like he was on one ridge and deer was on the other. So when he climbed down, he couldn't see off in the valley where she was at. Oh, it might have been. I don't remember.
No, it was a buck.
It was a buck over there. And so when he got down, he couldn't. He said, "I never heard it get up. I never seen it get up, but it was nothing but mashed down leaves where it dropped. No blood, no hair, no nothing. Never did find it there.
Didn't have nothing to go off of. So no, if it's still in the field and it's still standing, I'm putting another one in it.
That's a good thing about shooting that 350 is you stay on it.
Yeah.
There ain't no coming off scope on one of them. There's not enough recoil to bring you off of it. Like when I shoot my 300, that second shot's tough on it with the 300 because you got to regroup. No joke. I did it with the Cody the other day. I mean, all I saw was fire go out the end of the barrel. I mean, and then so getting back on an animal with one of those. Now I know a lot of times if I hit it with a 300, it's pretty much
done.
done.
You're going to know it. Yeah.
But so I've never really had to shoot one the second time with it. But it's a lighter 308 I've had too, and a 350
And it
I've
all
had
goes
too.
back. This is I've always grown up. You always get taught shoot them behind the shoulder, shoot them behind the shoulder. I don't do that no more. I'm gonna shoot them in the shoulder, top of the shoulder, where that's it. They're
taking out that landing gear and they can't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna damage some meat, but like Jamie said, I'd rather damage a little meat than not have none to damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been so confident in my shooting before that I had a good buck come up in the edge of a field one night, and this deer wasn't 50 yards from me, and picked a gun up, put it on him, and had him, dead to rights. I mean, thought I was right behind the shoulder, but it was just a chip shot, so I didn't pay a whole lot of attention and didn't concentrate on what I was doing. Fired the shot and watched the deer run off, and could have killed him. And just watched him disappear in the grass. And I said, well, I'll find him right out there in that grass. Nope.
No, I'm gonna either get two shots or you got to do everything you can to your best, like what you can do, your best ability to stop that deer where it's at and make sure you recover that deer, regardless of if it's shooting 3 times. I don't care. I mean, do all you can do.
we were
Unload the clip like Waylon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were hunting one time. Britt was with us, and anyways, we was up there, and he shot a pretty big deer. Anyways, every time that deer would kick, he knocked it down on the first shot. Every time that deer would kick, he'd shoot it again. He texted me, said, "I'm out of shells. You got
Gotta
to come
eat
up
more."
here."
He shot them all at it.
He
Huh?
shot them all at it. He said every time that thing moved, he was scared it was going to get up. It was so big.
Man. Have you ever put in another second shot on him, Jamie?
The only one I've ever had to was down the Delta hunting. And I never did find that deer. I shot a heck of a deer, and I hit it 2 times. It fell to the ground the first time, and it started running across the field. And I guess I missed it the second shot. Stopped at the edge of the field. I shot the third time and knocked it down in grass. I knew it was dead, and we tracked that thing for a long.
And that's when he
time.
got rid of a 280 and got a 300 mag.
That was when I had it 708 and the scope on it. It was something crazy wrong with it. Didn't realize at the time when you magnified it, it changed
Your elevation.
the elevation inside the scope.
The crosshairs wasn't centered.
Yeah.
If you turned it like at 100 yards, turned it on say 9, sighted in, it would drill the bullseye. But if you turn it back down on 6, it was shooting low, and that's what cost me that deer.
Dang.
So it did. Probably one of the biggest, heaviest horned deers I've ever shot.
Never found it.
Never found it. We tracked it all the way across the property went on the neighboring property, and it was a duck hole, and it got up in the duck hole, and it laid down, the blood all in the water, and when it come out the other side, the edge of the duck hole, we never found no drop of blood.
You did go buy a 300 mag after that, though, didn't you?
That was
that was that morning.
that was the day before Christmas Eve. I drove to Grenada and bought that 300 short, and I've never had to put another round in one. That's been a dang good gun.
That's why I like the 300. It might be a little overkill for where we hunt in Mississippi, but
Man,
you do not
know when Bigfoot or a
you
Sasquatch, something might come out. You need that gun.
That's right. Chupacabra.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to make sure they're wounded to where they're gonna die. You know, it's hard to tote one of them big 300 rounds.
I don't guess I've ever shot at one or had to shoot one twice.
You don't hear much out of them 300 shorts no more, and I love that little. I mean, I guess it's kind of it was a pretty good fad back then. They done all them short mags, but I liked it gun. I like it a lot. I mean,
is it hard to find shells for it?
Yes, I was shooting Federals, and I went on Ammo Seek, and I finally found 3 boxes, and I bought all 3, and I've not found. That's been last year, and I've not found another box of shells for it. And I did order a case, I guess, of Hornadies, and I hadn't shot them. I'd have to see how much different. They're same design bullet, same weight, but different manufacturer. But
it's an American whitetail.
Yeah,
that's the ones I shoot out of mine.
I hadn't shot it to see what the difference was between that and the Federals, but
I've that's one reason why I like 308, 30-06, 300 Win Mag. You can just about go anywhere and find those shells. So I usually stick with the calibers where you can find its shells pretty easy. I mean, you're still going to pay $50, $65 for a box of 300 Win Mag shells now, but you can find them when you go just about anywhere.
Well, that's the same thing like Abby's 708. I was shooting the Winchester ballistic tips, and I'm not a ballistic tip guy, but that's the only bullet I found that gun grouped very, very well. And I don't know if Winchester quit making them, but it was Winchester Whitetails, wasn't it?
Yeah, Whitetail XPs.
And it's pretty good with them. It ain't as good as what it was, but it's pretty good with them.
So how many different kinds of brands of shells are you going to shoot through a gun to see which one it likes? Or
through probably, she's got a Savage 708, and I went through probably 5 different kinds before I found one
that it liked.
Yep.
What's the main difference? Just tighter group, or is it just?
I mean, I tried Hornadies. I tried Remington Core Locks. I tried Federal had some, and they would not group them. I mean, it do about at 100 yards, about a paper plate, about as close as I could get it.
Wow, that's bad.
I couldn't
with a Savage barrel.
But that was a youth gun, all right.
It's got a short barrel on it, but it's not really like a youth.
It's not a youth stock.
Yeah, it's not.
See, like Will's youth 708, when I bought that for him, like it wouldn't group, and it was the same thing. I was shooting. I shot I don't know how many different kind of shells out of it, and just finally got one that was close enough. I felt comfortable with it, but I wouldn't let him shoot more than 75 yards with the gun either. You know, so. I don't know if it has something to do with that caliber being in that shorter barrel or what.
I even tried the, I don't remember if it was Remington or what, the low recoils, thinking that might be, like you're talking about, shorter gun, and they wouldn't group them either.
What about you, Mark? How many different ones are you shooting out of yours to find the bullet it likes?
Not well. So this is the deal. Growing up, there was no other bullet than a Federal Premium Sierra Game King. That's all Dad's allowed.
We shot.
That's it. I mean, that was it. Which
see, mine was over green and yellow.
If I could still find them, I'd still be shooting them.
Really? Yeah, I mean, that was an excellent gun or round, and that's what I shot growing up. And then I started out hunting with a Browning A-Bolt 260, and I love that gun. But like Jamie said, I never really tried. I mean, it grouped decent with them Federals, but it wasn't like a tack driver, you know. And then I ended up ordering, I think it's a company called Double Tap.
That's what it is, yeah.
They make like hand loads, and I ordered I think it was 137 grain. I think it's a Nosler Petition or one of the Nosler brand bullets, and it shoots it great. You know, it does a very good job. And when I bought this 28 Nosler, I figured if it's a 28 Nosler, I'm going to shoot Nosler bullets. So I ordered Nosler ammunition. It shoots it great. I mean, it does fine, but it goes back to, I love that gun, but you're not just going to run to Walmart or Academy and buy a box of those shells. Like, I have to do a lot of research, a lot of shopping online to get it. And when I do, like Jamie said, I buy 4 or 5 boxes of it at once and I keep a stockpile of them. But probably my next one is going to be a 300 mag or a 7 mag, one of the two, something that's more readily available, I guess you'd say.
That you can find.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I love, like, I've doing this and like gradually shooting guns over the years, you kind of figure out like, all right, you know, these bullets shoot good, these don't. And so like, I've got to where now, whatever, no matter the brand, if it has a Nosler petition or like the ones I'm shooting now are the AccuBonds, I think that's a dang good bullet. Like that's what I'm looking for. Like I don't care the brand it is, but if it has that bullet in it, that's a good shooting bullet.
That's the only bad thing about buying some of those like popular guns or some of the ones they come out with, you know, year after year, is if they don't stay popular, I mean, what do you do about shells? I mean, somebody makes them, but
what are you going to pay for?
What are you going to pay for them? Where are you going to find them at? Because, I mean, you know, most of your popular shell manufacturers, Winchester, Remington, Federal, some of those people like that, you know, once that gun's not popular no more, it's hard to find them.
Well, that's like
in those.
I mean, 35 Wayland was a hot gun. Yeah. Now you can't hardly find them shells. If you do, I think Daddy paid $60 or $70 for a box.
Well, that's one reason I think we've all become fond of it, and I fell in love with 350 Legend. Is this like buying 22 bullets?
Yeah,
you can go wherever. You can go to a bait shop.
For now, yeah, that was the only thing that scared me because I'd never heard of it, and then all of a sudden it popped up. It's like, well, you know, I wonder how long this is going to last because like me and Jamie jumped on the 280 kick back in the late 90s, and I like to never got rid of that gun. You know, I kept it for several years, and I wanted to get rid of it, and finally a dude bought it.
I sold it to a buddy of mine. He still hunts, he loves it.
That was the worst rifle I ever bought. That and a 45-70.
No, I said 280. I shot a deer with it, and I did put 2 rounds in it because it sucked it up. I don't know what the deal. I don't know if it's just the type of bullet I actually was shooting at the time, or if it was just, I don't know.
I've killed deer with Winchester bullets out of it, Remington bullets, and Federal bullets out of it, and none of them. It zipped through a deer so fast. I mean, I had a deer literally go back to eating after I done plugged him through the guts. Well, not through the guts, but through the rib cage, and it didn't touch a bone or anything, so it just passed through him. And I mean, he was like he wasn't even hit. He put his head back down, went to eat. I had to shoot him again.
That was a 280.
That was a 280. Yeah. It was really fast, but you could only buy
140 grains, big as they had at the time.
Biggest they had. But I mean, the common ones were like an odd, like Hornet had a 125 or something like that.
Something different.
And them bullets were so hot, man. Them Hornety bullets they were way too fast. But yeah, that gun right there was.
That's why I shot out of it with Horneties.
And two, we've said this before, is bullet technology has come so much more advanced since then. You know, that was 20 years ago. So I mean, you look at what they have now. Like the only time I've shot a bullet that I was not impressed with and did not like was when I first ordered those double taps. I ordered I think it was loaded with the Barnes, the solid copper bullets.
Yeah, Barnes.
I did not like those. Like they didn't give me some lead, give me something that's going to tear some junk up, you know, and I wasn't pleased with the copper bullets, but I guess some states you have to shoot that now. You can't shoot lead, period. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that in Mississippi no time soon. But
so where are you finding yours? Because like sometimes if you can't get them at local sporting goods store, you got to order them online.
Past 2 years, everything I bought, I've got on Ammo Seek, and like Max, I went to Ammo Seek. Them 350 Legends were at Max Prairie Wings. That's where I got them, and that was the cheapest.
That's where I ordered my last 28 nozzlers. Come from Max Prairie Wings.
Shipping and the overall cost per box, that was the cheapest at the time.
And they're usually you get them the next day here because we're pretty close to them, so they get here pretty quick.
The good thing about a website like that Ammo Seek you're talking about is it pulls in stores, or I guess individuals too, from all over.
It'll start from the lowest price to the most expensive price for that box. Plus, it'll actually it'll break down. It shows how many they got in stock, how many you can buy, which one got free shipping, which one don't. And Ammo Seek, I've ordered a lot of stuff, or through that site.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up now because I want to see what 28 nozzlers are right now. I bet they ain't cheap.
What are you thinking? $75 a box?
The last box I bought was $125 a box.
Oh, that's a lot per shell there, Mark.
It's like a buddy of ours got a, what's 50 cal he's got, ain't it?
Yeah, he got a Barrett, and then he got a 338 Lapua
He's
both.
talking about how expensive they are.
Costs $25 a round.
Yeah, probably so.
I wonder what shells for some of the, well, y'all were talking about this the other day, you know, that, what was it, a 7mm shooting town in Western?
Yeah, that's what,
STW.
Yeah, STW.
I wonder what a box of shells cost for that freaking gun.
Back
now.
then they was $70. That's been 15, 20 years ago. I ain't even heard nobody shooting that anymore.
I've never seen the.
But those guns, you know, those guns are still out there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's got them.
I guess you'd have to hand load and you get into some of those crazy calibers like that. They're, well, not crazy, just
unique.
Unique,
not
yeah.
popular. Oh,
and a lot of guys do. They'll hand load them, but man, I wish I ain't got the time to hand load them.
I ain't got to where I don't care no more. Than I'm going basic.
Yeah,
If we can't
I want to
do
be
it
able to go get it at Walmart, well, or Academy or somewhere like that.
Man, you talked about it the other day. I told you I was wanting to buy another rifle next year, just something different that I, you know, don't. I mean, I've got a 308 for wheel. I've got a 308. I've got 30-06, 35, not a 35 Whalen.
35 Remington.
Yeah. And, oh Lord, I done got lost now. I don't know how, I got a couple more rifles anyways, but they're all just kind of basic rifles, you know. So I was thinking about buying another gun. I told you, I was like, man, I don't own a 270, and I don't know if I ever owned a 270, but I don't know if I would.
I like them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of deer been killed with them, but I just,
it's flat and fast too, isn't it? Though I mean, that's the big thing with 270s. Is you said you got to shoot them just right with 270 because you will lose a bunch of deer with one of them.
It's not. I don't think it's fast enough to be concerning, but you're still only going to shoot a 140 grain bullet, you know, something along those lines, which is fine. I mean, that's one thing that I guess the difference in like a 28 nozzler and say a 7 mag is like I'm shooting a 175 grain bullet out of that 28 nozzler, and it's still the same diameter as what a 7 mag is. It's just a way longer bullet. So I don't know if like now, like you might be able to get a heavier bullet for 270. I don't know.
I'm going 308 or 708, my next one.
And see, I got that 260 and I love it.
I do too. I do like that gun.
I've never had a deer take another step with that gun. I mean, it's going, wherever you shoot is where it lays, but it's a little lightweight gun. It's smooth. It's, you know, it's pretty fast, but it's nothing crazy.
I mean, where we shoot, it ain't, or hunt, it ain't but one or two places you're going to get over 200 yard shot anyway.
Yep.
And I'm not no.
Majority of them's 100, 150.
Yeah. And I'm not no long distance shooter anyway. I can't be still to shoot that far.
I definitely ain't now. I noticed that the other day. Like my hands ain't near as steady as they used to. My fingers have been mauled up from working and stuff like that. And there's like no feeling in the tip of my trigger finger no more hardly. So I had to pull it all the way through to get on the second knuckle just to feel the trigger sometime, you know, and I don't know, my shootings went way down from what it was.
That's why you been toting that slug gun?
Yeah. So I won't try to shoot no further. I know my
just
limits
get
with
it
that
near
thing.
him with that. Yeah, you just get it near him. If you can get it near him and touch him with that one, that's another one that'll.
I might as well be carrying a bow taking that thing.
It goes back to a lot what we say is like something you're comfortable with. I mean, that's one reason I love that 350 Legend is like it's smooth and it's comfortable. Like this morning I carried the big gun just in case. It was one of them deals just in case. But that's the first time I've hunted with that 28 this year. Every other time's been with the 350 Legend.
Man, I can't believe you didn't let it rip in this morning in a doe or something.
Man,
you buck hunting.
I had a agenda this morning.
I'll tell you what, that big fat doe that came through first, she was slowed down enough. She'd be hanging out there now. But she come through, she was gone.
I wonder if the bucks was been messing with her all night.
I don't know. I mean, he went after her. She was the biggest one.
Yeah.
I mean, she was pretty old doe, and the other two behind her, you know, they were about the same size. They were smaller than her, but they were all grown. But he went after her. But I don't know if I don't know. He's kind of like a dog or something, or you know what I mean. He wasn't. I think you just seen him running and decided he was going to just put a chase in.
Run with him and see.
Yeah, because there's no way he smelled her.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she came from south of him, and as she come out in the field, he just decided, well,
man, you never know. She might have stopped for him.
What was y'all's wind this morning? Did y'all have a good wind, or was it?
No, it was
south.
I was at it.
Was for me.
It went west.
It was supposed to be northwest all morning. It was dead south on me,
and about 9,
which was perfect for me. But
About 9, it switched to almost.
See, that would explain why that buck got behind her then. If that went south wind was blowing to him, if he got to where he could wind her.
See, it blowed in my window, in my right window out of north all morning. It never changed. It never changed where I was at.
Yeah.
But like James was saying, I mean, every place on over here is different. I mean, I hunted that ladder stand, and it come from 10 different ways the other day.
So I don't know. I know going into your stand, you kind of got to play your way in according to the wind. Man, like the other day, I was hunting at the house. I seen, I think, 15 deer that day, and I had just as many come from downwind right up to me as I did out in front of me come in the wind.
I've seen it. It happened to us this year. The other night, we shot both to kill those doe. That one was directly in our wind, and it had to have come from the wind right to us. It didn't phase her.
Those does this morning came from downwind.
Yeah.
And
buck came from upwind, the does came from downwind. They come 2 different directions.
The only one that busted me was a 6-point messing with the doe, and I was probably 23, 24 foot up in the tree, and I had crap all around me, and he run out grunting, and he stopped and looked straight up that tree. Now I don't know how he seen me, but yeah, he sure busted me.
I don't think they play as much part of their travel with the wind like we used to think. Is more as like if your scent's blowing over their bedding area, then they most likely ain't gonna come from that way. But them deer gonna walk and go wherever they please. I mean,
yeah, because I mean, you think about that theory, that the deer all come from upwind. They travel with the wind or a crosswind or something like that. What if the wind blows 15 days out of the north? All deer going to be on the south side of the county.
That's what we're doing.
When are they just sitting down there waiting to come back?
yeah. When they go to the coast,
Waiting on the wind to change, they line up.
Well,
we
got to check the weather this morning. We go back.
At some point in time, they're going into the wind, across the wind to get back home. It ain't no.
At some point,
Yeah, they got to. I mean, you got to. At some point, they gotta go upwind somehow. So
I'm not an expert, but
we got me and Malcolm got a new camp rule down here now. We were burning garbage on Sunday before we left.
Oh.
We cleaned up the cabin and taking everything out, and Shell's kind of been on Malcolm a little bit about all the boxes and stuff that's been thrown out there, and they'd clean it up because it was looking kind of bad. But somebody's done throwed all the camp garbage in there. Me and Malcolm set this thing on fire. And all of a sudden, after it's been burning for about 15, 20 minutes, something.
We had it going good. We had it going good. Yeah.
We hear some, and man, it just boom went off. So I was like, well, that was an aerosol can.
Thought it was an old paint can or something.
Yeah. So we sat there for a minute, and the next thing I know, I see something fizzing over there in the fire, and it shoots out, hits the dumpster, and bounces off and goes in the driveway. Well, it's like, dadgum, somebody done throwed a box of fireworks or something, or a bag, some old fireworks, something there. Maybe it was from 4th of July or something when y'all were down here is what I was thinking. And these things start shooting up out of the fire. One comes over by us, goes by me, and it's whirling around like sparklers. What do you call them? Whirly bird looking things that take off and go off the ground. That's what it did. And it landed right by me. So me and Malcolm are like huddled up in front of the Can-Am, trying not to get hit by this thing.
Taking shelter.
It was freaking batteries. AA battery.
It had to be out of trail cams when we swap them out.
Nobody but you.
Oh no! I guarantee you I threw them in the trash.
Man, we were up there hiding from them things. We didn't know what was coming out of that fire because them things are going everywhere.
I think Michael, I told him to haul the trash out. I was pitching them bags over there on the burn pile, thinking we was going to burn it all because it would be beer boxes and Coke boxes and all that in that garbage can. But I'd fill it up with batteries because we had to pull batteries out. There's usually it's 8 or a dozen in each camera, and we're running so many cameras. It shot batteries for a good hour and a half like that. We stood out there and took cover because we didn't want the fire to get away, so we said we got to stay with it. I mean, we had a fire going, and we burnt. Man, we dodged batteries, and they would shoot off in the woods, and I didn't know they'd blow up and go off like that. But I guess what it was doing was blowing the cap on it, and then it had enough juice or whatever in them to shoot it like a rocket. At first, I thought it was old shotgun shells. I said, man, maybe it's duck hunting.
That's where I got nervous.
Somebody done cleaned out the back end of the Can-Am. There's some shotgun shells and just threw it in the trash or whatever. But
that's what I was picturing. Dove seeing somebody back up here and swept out the back of the Can-Am with shells in it.
Get some hate comments now. Batteries.
Yeah.
We didn't know they were in there.
They were, what do they call those? That was environmental friendly batteries, what you had.
Yeah, they were. They were green batteries.
Yeah, green batteries.
They're green now.
We burn them up.
Yeah, they're burnt up.
From the earth to the earth. That's what we done.
Returning that lithium or whatever it is in them.
I ain't telling how much of that stuff we breathe.
Man, that's what another thing I was worried about. We needed to get them gas
You feel
masks.
charged? You ready this week?
Yeah.
We thought it was just boxes and pallets and
That's all it was supposed to be.
yeah, it's all it was supposed to be.
All right. So who's hunting this afternoon?
I gotta get back to town.
Now you got to start supper early.
Yeah, I gotta go
Gotta
home,
have
start
chill
supper,
supper,
do dishes, put my apron on, and take out
give
the
her a
trash,
bath.
I gave
draw
her,
the bath.
I gave her a bell earlier. Told her to take home with me.
She has a bell.
Man, I tell you, it's done cooled off. It's crock pot roast weather.
Oh
Yes.
man, I was thinking about that on your old deer stew.
I'm probably
It is time for one.
finna fire the crock pot up tomorrow.
I saw a good recipe that I want one of us to do. They had they kind of cheated and did the whole thing in the crock pot, but they took a backstrap, cut it up in little thin steaks, and then just threw it in the crock pot and made it was like deer tips and rice. They Lipton onion soup, made cream mushroom soup, make some gravy in there. But I was like, man, you could take that old Brio fire pit, cut them little bitty thin steaks, a backstrap up, and just put a sear over the fire.
Hang a Dutch oven
Then
on
pitch them in the Dutch oven and add all your stuff and then get you some rice and do that. That would be a good camp recipe for us to do one night.
Oh, I will be eating good this coming weekend. I'll be at Arca Butler at the Physically Challenge time.
Is that this weekend? So
I'll be eating good.
they get all the donations and everything lined up.
The
Good.
only thing they said they were missing this yesterday, they was needing one or two more side by sides to borrow.
Yeah, so it was.
Or show up and help
Yeah.
them, I guess. If anybody's in the area and they want to help out, they can contact
Yeah,
Jamie or Rob.
Yeah, you can reach me at jamie@killerhog.com and I'll get you hooked up with Rob.
It's gonna be
Be a
good.
good weekend. It's gonna rain, of course. And all
So when does that start? Friday?
Yeah, they'll hunt. Yeah, start.
They come in Thursday or
Yeah,
come in?
yeah.
And y'all will cook dinner and everything and cook all the meals down there?
Jamie's gonna take our cook trailer and have it set up down at the RV spot, and
Yeah, me and the dog will be down there from Thursday to Sunday.
Are you staying down there all weekend too? Or
I
what's
probably
your
won't
plan?
stay, but I'm gonna go down there at least 1 or 2 days. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna stay down here. And
What
it's
are
just
y'all cooking?
They ain't.
Well, I don't think we
they had
have
several
to-
people this year donate to cook, so I don't know. It's Sunday afternoon's the only time that's open right
Open.
now, and it's kind of we're gonna play it by ear. And so many hunters stay Sunday night, and depending on what we cook.
They actually hunt Sunday too?
Yeah. It's some guys like 5 or 6 hours away. They gonna probably hunt Sunday morning and head out Sunday afternoon. Then some of them actually stay that night, and go home Monday. But
And then is it the following weekend as well? So
Yeah,
you got
same.
2 weeks?
2 weekends. Yep.
It's gonna be some good times down there.
Oh yeah.
Hope y'all
We'll
get them guys some good deer.
Man, they gonna live it up.
Do they get to kill doe too, or is
Yeah,
it
shoot.
so they'll kill does and
They kill some
bucks?
does now. They ain't scared to pull the trigger.
Heck no. It's we get done down here one evening. We may have to slip over at night, let you get you a good dose of all of them coming in with them, because it's pretty good. It's entertaining for say
What
the
time?
least.
They usually about 6 o'clock. That's when they got them strung up.
What's that now?
Is that usually when they start stringing them up, or they string them? Y'all bring them out as soon as they kill them.
No, we usually go in, and most times go in at lunchtime that way because don't mess up any other hunter. We'll go in at lunchtime if they get one, and then wait till the evening or dark and go pick up.
Do those guys call y'all or radio you or tell you they got one, or how's that work?
Because they can't get out of the stand just for safety reasons. We all of them got like team leaders. Each ranger have a team of hunters. They have their cell phone number, or if I carry them and put them in the stand, I have my number also. They can whoever carries
They can
them.
tell you. What's the most you seen one of them shoot?
Oh man, I don't know if it was legal or not.
I seen a pile come in last year.
We did between a couple of hunters. We filled up F-150.
Well, I'm talking about one man. Like, can you kill multiple? They let you kill 2 deer, or you
It
kill
was by
the
state rule?
yeah.
So,
I've seen,
No, I got tickled
I've seen-
last
so they can kill legally. They can kill 11, I guess. I don't know if you can kill them the same day.
down there or not. but
Yeah.
that's-
Guy had one last year. He wanted to take a picture with it, so I grabbed a deer and got it up there by him, And he's like, "Well, give my other ones." I said, "Your other ones?" He said, "Yeah, all them right there." And he did. He had a pile up back there.
Oh man,
He was ready. I said, "All right, we'll get him over here." But no, last year was the first time I got to stay long enough to see all that, and I was cooking jambalaya, and I was like, "Man, they ain't brought in but 1 or 2. It's kind of slow coming
Yeah.
in." And about 7 o'clock, after everybody's done,
Jeez.
man, it was deer piled up everywhere.
you need to see if you can get some footage of that. That'd make a good video to share with
Yeah.
everybody. About if they got. Do you know if they have any of the physically challenged hunt or any kind of video or way to promo it or anything?
I don't know if they did or not.
What's
Really
the guy out of Memphis or whatever? He filmed his last year, or he done some kind of film because he showed me and you.
Yeah, it was a guy down there last year. I'd like to get some more stuff on it and kind of help promote it more.
Yeah,
help it grow
especially some of the cooking y'all do for camp and taking them to the stands and the deer they harvest and all that.
You hear some stories. They got a fire pit down there. It probably takes about a cord of wood just to get started. So, I mean, yeah, you sit around there,
Wow.
you hear some
Oh,
stories.
it's huge. It's 16,
They gonna burn
18.
some wood.
Oh, yeah, probably multiple cords. That fire pit's probably
Almost
16
20 foot.
long, 18 foot long, and probably 6 or 8 foot wide.
So it's as big as
It's like you got a
they ought to
16
just
foot-
stack them up in it and let it go. Then is that what they do?
So you pretty much, fire pit will be lit on Thursday, and I don't care, it rains, it will not go out until Sunday.
They should have pretty good. Well, I think there's a chance of rain this
It's like
weekend.
30 or 40% chance.
Yeah, but it ought to be good. The temperature's going to go up just a little bit, but
I looked at the app this morning. They're showing
when's prime movement?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
The rest,
I'm sick.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little.
the rest of the weeks all jam up, but I think it's calculating in ruts what they're
Yeah.
figuring. They're saying peak day for rut in Mississippi where we're at. It's like December 10th,
Okay, so we still got a few weeks.
but I don't think they're getting close, but they ain't there
No,
yet.
they're not full swing yet, but
I ain't heard old grunt yet. So
They're coming around to it.
Getting
6
there.
point.
You got to slip out there with them horns this weekend in that woods and see if you can get that big one to come on out there.
I'm gonna be slipping. May have to give me some G's where it says no trespassing and put me
Yeah.
a G over the end.
Well, be looking for that 3-point Betty Crocker buck. That's the one we want to take out.
I need to see what do you think he weighs and see who gets close. If we get him,
I'm gonna say 187,
I'm gonna say
which is a big buck for here, a hill deer for where we're at.
162.
How you think he's at?
no.
He's way
saying-
bigger than
I'm saying two.
You think he's gonna break 2?
215.
I know we hung up that buck I shot. And it was a peak rut last year. and
198.
He was
And
198.
this one here looks way bigger.
Way
than that one
bigger,
does.
body wise, way bigger.
I might have to read
His nose weighs 70 pounds. I mean, he's like
What's your
an
guess?
Angus bull.
I was going to put him mid 190s.
190s, okay. 195 for Mikey.
I'm gonna say 212.
212.
I don't think it'll go that big.
I'm gonna say 185. What do you,
Hey, you got me renegotiating over here. I'm going to pull the picture up again. Bud.
162.
you got to throw a number out there. We're gonna put it right here.
He's got rolls. Like when he was hunkered up, I mean, he had a 6-pack of rolls. I mean,
188.
crescent rolls, but they were
188.
rolls.
188. Okay, well, so we're right in there, and then Mark's gonna say he's gonna break 200 at
He's gonna break
212.
200. This is
212.
guts in.
Yeah, on the
Hanging.
hoof, hanging.
He's gonna break 200.
All right.
So, speaking of pictures, we got some pretty cool ones sent in this week.
Yeah, we did. We had had a bear with a hog in its mouth.
That's the coolest one I've seen.
Sure.
It's gonna be hard to beat a bear toting a hog.
Then the hog's still alive. That's
Yeah.
the bad thing. Like, it smiled for the picture too.
It's not a big hog. It's a little. I mean, it's a
Suckling,
piglet
yeah,
or
but
yeah.
still, it's
I wouldn't have thought a bear
Would have caught it
would have caught a hog like that.
because you know that's a fast little dude too.
Yeah.
And it was a,
Usually
it
they
was a
ain't
black
solo.
bear too. It was
Yeah.
a. and
Because
that,
I know
you
they eat meat, but I wouldn't figure they would be
Wouldn't
just
figure
that
he'd-
aggressive to catch a
Yeah.
hog, you know.
Oh, he was taking that one home
Unless they had it-
Thanksgiving.
yeah,
What
he was finna eat good.
Mhm.
If I had the fire hot, old bear was gonna cook.
I'm trying to see if it said
where it was at.
where it was at.
It was pretty cool though. I tell you, we've got more cool photos in this than I ever expected.
Yeah, y'all are doing a great job. If you want to keep it going, and we're gonna run this through December, and we're probably gonna do another season one too for the second half after
Yeah.
New Year's. We'll take it on into the end of January. That's when our season ends. So we're gonna give away some of our swag, some of the hats and hoodies and shirts and things like that we have, and we'll pick one overall. We're gonna get all of it. So
That'll be
I'm ready to
cool.
see some recipes come in too.
yeah, if you got your favorite recipe, you want to just take a picture of the dish and then give us a little recipe for what you did it, and we may try to duplicate it.
Yeah, something different than we've done
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
If it's good enough, we might invite you out here and let you cook it for us.
Yeah, we'd like to cook for us. That's all right. That was all right this morning.
Can't
Get
cook.
breakfast
Yes, I
cooked for us.
did. So y'all text me. I was coming down here with Shell, and you said to get breakfast ready. So I threw together some old sausage gravy and a can of whoop biscuits and some bacon. I had a nice little hot something for y'all.
I mean, I
good.
figured that it got ignored because you didn't respond back like instantly saying, okay, I'm going to start cooking.
I was filming a video over here at the smokehouse when I got it. So I said, I told them I had to wrap that up so I can go cook breakfast for y'all. Y'all timed it just right. I told you 20 minutes. I finished, 30 seconds early,
Yeah.
Mikey?
Hey, you got it.
I had it
Kept your
down.
job.
I had the timer on the Alexa in there. Tell her.
Yeah, I don't know if you cooked the breakfast or Alexa did, but y'all done a good job.
It's pretty
together.
much set and forget. You whoop that can of biscuits and throw them in a skillet, and then
But
put some
you
gravy
put it in
together.
a cast iron skillet, and that makes all the
Yeah.
difference in the world on the biscuits.
it does. That's the way my granny and mama always did them. Was even if they were store bought biscuits, they'd get cooked in iron skillet, so they'd brown up really good. But they just don't do that on a baking sheet sitting there.
Well, I might have mentioned this last week. My father-in-law, Mr. Charlie, he'd been practicing his duck blind cooking.
Oh, that duck blind looks good.
It does. And so me and my wife, I guess Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we rode over to his house and he was going to cook breakfast. Well, he bought me one and he has one too. It's a duck blind bistro. And it's like an aluminum griddle that folds in half, but you can cook biscuits in it. You can cook whatever. Dude, it cooks some of the best biscuits because it gets that hard crust on the top and bottom. God, they're good.
Like a clamshell.
Yeah, it's like a clamshell deal. It's pretty neat though. You can cook on open fire or on a hot eye or whatever, but
Don't they make a cast iron version of that too? It's like making sandwiches or something.
I don't know if they do.
Well, I mean, somebody does.
Somebody
yeah.
does, but they make
But that's a lighter though, because it's aluminum.
it's aluminum and you can get it. The ones we have are like smooth finish and they have one that's kind of raw finished. I guess you can season it yourself, but man, don't nothing stick to it, man. It cooks good.
Yeah.
8 minutes, you can cook biscuits in it.
How many biscuits will it cook?
Nine.
Can?
Oh, it'll
grand
cook a whole
biscuits.
can? Yeah. That's bigger. Yeah, I was thinking the one that's just like a piece of local.
No, this is like 10 by 10. It's pretty good size.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
What would we do if we had to rough it?
We're
Man,
roughing it.
That's pretty.
Figure it out.
Yeah, we figured
We
out.
figured out. If
Now, yeah, but y'all got that duck blind. You sent me a picture of it. We got to do an aerial shot of that
Yeah.
from a duck's perspective to see what it looks like from the air, because that
Get down
thing's
here
blended
Friday or
in.
something. We might carry the drone down there and
Yeah.
see if we got water. And
There ain't no
it's-
ducks yet.
No, it ain't no ducks. The only thing I know is got killed. Guy killed some teal. That's it. I ain't heard of a single big duck getting
no,
killed
that's
yet.
all I've heard. It's teal and wood ducks. That was
Yeah.
it.
Them's already here.
Yeah,
they ain't
were
migrating.
here. I think that's what I was sitting out there on the north side of 51. Out in all them water holes.
Yeah, we
was
got a
teal.
pond full of wood ducks down
I mean,
there.
Got some
don't we?
McGanders.
Did you say the mergansers?
I could have killed 3 limits wood ducks this
Yeah,
morning in the pond.
they have been
Oh,
hitting that
they-
pond. We're gonna have us a little wood duck shoot down there. Watch, we're gonna go down there early one morning and sit there. Right, all you gotta do is sit in that corner,
Yeah.
and
We
then
got a blind down there.
they ain't there no more.
I'm glad. Is the post up off of it?
No, they're still
I
there
have to
too.
dodge them with the bush hog every time I go
Oh,
through
you'll
there.
find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go pull them up. We could just about put us a little wood duck blind in that corner, and you could
Well, we
shoot.
got 2 extra sled blinds now, so
Yeah.
we could drag a sled blind down there in the end of the field.
Yeah, you could. It needs to be tucked in down there somewhere. I don't know how deep that water is in that pond. You probably wouldn't set it off in it.
Not off the levee.
Yeah,
you ain't seen the new photo of the duck blind when it's finally done being brushed in. Oh shoot, you can't even see it, man. It looks good.
Well, I'm ready for some duck too now.
If y'all, if you get a chance, check out. We got a video on Facebook. A friend of ours, Adam Starkey and Emma Starkey. They were gracious enough to let us use that video of his daughter killing that first buck that the other day. What was it opening weekend? I don't think.
Yeah, we can
Maybe an opening weekend. Check that video out. If I don't get you fired up, son.
Also, I talked to Adam, and Adam's one of these guys that if you get in trouble at a bar or wherever, you want Adam
want him on your
Adam on
side.
your team. But he's also one of these guys that loves his kids. Both his daughter, I mean, he's passionate about hunting with them, whatever. And anyway, daughter, she kind of got emotional. I said something to Adam. I'm like, man, I think I'd have got kind of upset.
Crying
too.
with her,
He's
yeah.
Like, he's like, shoot, why do you think I cut the camera off?
He didn't want to admit it.
It's good video.
It'll get you
worth
choked up. Yeah.
Wow, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
If you've ever hunted with kids or had kids of your own, it kind of brings back those memories. It brings back memories of me hunting, with my dad and stuff, that first time of killing a deer, how emotional it is, and that's what we strive for each and every day to, whether you want to admit it or not, that same feeling every time you go to the stand.
That's right.
There it is in its raw form, first time ever,
When I lose that, I'm done.
Done hunting.
I just stay at camp and cook.
Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
So y'all ain't complain, are you?
I ain't gonna complain. We'll let you stay back. I'll go shoot them bucks. Well, we'll be back next week to talk more deer hunting with y'all and hopefully have a report. Mark, you gonna get back and stand here in a minute, and
Hopefully y'all see a
we'll, Jamie's gonna tell us what happened down at the handicap hunt this weekend. And
I get some video and some pictures, and we'll share it with everybody.
Mikey's doing his wifely duties and going for an anniversary trip,
Yeah, I
aren't you?
got an
Happy
anniversary
This
anniversary.
weekend, ain't you?
You'll be gone, so I'll be here. Me and Mark, you're going to have to hold it down
We're
here.
gonna do some grip and grinning. We're gonna be holding no trophy buck up.
We're going to have to do something. We're going to have to double up on some more doughs and make up for
I'll bring an extra box of shells. We'll be good to go.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. We gone.